Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, excuse me, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Devotees, what do you see on your screen?
We can see the PPT, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams.
Dhanavad Pranamadaji. Thank you. So I will also get the. Okay. Now you see it on full screen?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So I have great pleasure to welcome all devotees for this 27th session of our Prabhupada Leelamrita. We are now seeing how Prabhupada's mission is expanding. So last time we titled as the banyan tree spreads or expands. So now we are going to be entering into a special adventure where London is being conquered by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Prabhupada doesn't go, but London is conquered. England is conquered by the disciples of Prabhupada. So that is an amazing story. So up to now, we saw how Krishna's work is being done by his pure devotee, deputed from Goloka, Srila Prabhupada. Krishna personally deputed, his commander-in-chief devotee. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Commander-in-chief devotee to save the people of this Kali Yuga, to spread the holy name around the world, to give a passage to spiritual world for the next 10,000 years for all seeking souls. That was Srila Prabhupada. But now we see actually how, after a point, after Prabhupada established the New York temple and he got his initial disciples, and how they became increasingly committed and surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. And through them, Prabhupada made amazing things happen. There was a time when Prabhupada would say, just like Ram had to fight the battle of Sri Lanka with monkeys and bears, he said, the Lord has also sent me some monkeys, but using them, I am spreading this mission by the mercy of the Lord, like the Prabhupada would say. Sometimes he would call his disciples dancing white elephants. Dancing white elephants. So Prabhupada brought the dancing white elephants to India and took them on a tour around the country to expose Indian people to these white devotees he had brought from the West. Dancing white elephant. They would sing the Mahamantra and with abandon, with complete relish, they would just jump and dance for the Mahamantra. And they lived such a pure life. So the Indians were captured just by seeing Prabhupada's disciples. So now, going forward, we are going to be seeing the glories of the disciples of Prabhupada. Is it not? Phalena parichiyate. It's a saying that how do you know about a tree? By its fruits only. When the tree produces fruits, then you know what kind of a tree it is. Same way, Prabhupada is a glorious tree, and the fruits of the tree are the disciples of Prabhupada, whom we are seeing. Now we are seeing the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So this mission will expand in this way only. Multi-level marketing. Prabhupada produced pure devotees, the pure devotees produce more pure devotees, and they produce even more pure devotees, and they spread the mission around the world. So this is the beautiful story that we are seeing now. So actually, the discussion of the London adventure is a great eye-opener and a great hope-giving mission for all of us. Srila Prabhupada's guru had wanted to spread Krishna consciousness in England, as we have discussed in earlier class, because he disappeared in the year 1936. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. At that time, India was a colony of the British. So at that time, the British Empire was so vast, spread all over the world. Only after the Second World War, America got into prominence. So by 1936, sun never sets over the British Empire. That's what they used to say. So Prabhupada wanted, at that time, the senior Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he wanted to send his disciples and give Krishna consciousness to the West. And that is when in the year 1922, when Srila Prabhupada met his guru, Saraswati Thakur, the first thing his guru told was, you are an educated young man. I want you to go to the West and propagate the mission of Krishna consciousness in English. So he always wanted England, London as the goal. And he sent his other sannyasi disciples also, but they did not succeed. They were meeting the upper strata of the British society. They would go to them, they would give some classes, they would take some group photographs, they would wear Western garments, they would pick up the Western habits, and they tried to preach something, not very successful. There was one devotee of Saraswati Thakur in London, but when these disciples that Prabhupada sent, these 6 people, they tried to meet her, they found that she's not very cooperative and she remained behind a closed door. She did not even open the door for them. And Prabhupada said, you don't worry about that. So this is how Prabhupada said, my guru's mission, through you, I am accomplishing. So please take it seriously. I'll be very, very happy if you succeed in London. So that's what Prabhupada had told. So now we will move on to the slides. Some of the slides we might have already seen. I'll still go through it, but a little quickly. So Srila Prabhupada was in India for a while, and from India he returned to America in December 1967. He came via Tokyo to San Francisco. And after staying a little while in San Francisco, Prabhupada again went to New York Temple. And after inspiring the devotees there, he went to Montreal. And in Montreal, Prabhupada spent quite some time. We have been talking about Montreal, but now is the first visit of Prabhupada to Montreal that is happening. But even before that, the center there was running. We know Kirtananda Prabhu had inspired people there, and they had actually a flourishing center in Montreal. So Srila Prabhupada also went there and stayed there. And that is where the 6 devotees from Los Angeles, from California, San Francisco, they went to meet Srila Prabhupada and to take guidance on how they should act in UK when they went. Okay, so in between, Prabhupada also went to Los Angeles. You remember, before Prabhupada went to India, he told his disciples, I want a center in Los Angeles. Accordingly, one devotee couple called Dayananda and Nandarani, they went to Los Angeles and they took a storefront, and they were already doing something very seriously, very sincerely, hardworkingly. Even though it was a secluded, isolated place, the temple, not too many people would come, but these 2 people were struggling. Sometimes they would fight with each other in terms of the challenges what they were facing in Krishna consciousness. But Prabhupada's letters and their deep faith and love for Prabhupada, they kept them going. And they decided that because we are staying together in the service of Krishna, our life is successful. So this is how the 2 people carried on. So Prabhupada went there also, and Prabhupada stayed there for 2 months, giving lectures, kirtan, and giving inspiration to the disciples. But subsequently, they moved from there to a much more prosperous place in Hollywood Boulevard, very, very prominent place in Los Angeles, where very big VIPs are living, but somehow devotees got a very opulent place there. And they used to go out and do Nagar Sankirtan continuously. Morning to night, devotees will be doing Nagar Sankirtan, chanting Hare Krishna in public, dancing, chanting Hare Krishna in public, and distributing the books. And that way, they used to distribute thousands of books every day. And Tamal Krishna was one of the most prominent preachers in Los Angeles at that time. We have not heard about how he came to ISKCON and all that. That story would be different. You can go to Google and find out. But Tamal Krishna subsequently became a very important influence in ISKCON. He became a sannyasi called Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He has done excellent contributions to ISKCON. At least 1 or 2 I will try to recollect for you. Number 1, he started a bus party for distributing books all over America. Buses. They took buses, they bought buses, and they were called Radha Damodar Book Distribution Party. In that, they would install the deities of Gauranitai, and they would carry a lot of books, and they would go all over America, universities, colleges, and distribute in a massive scale. And they created huge records. That is one contribution he did. Second contribution, there are so many unlimited contributions. Second one I prominently remember is the Mayapur land, acquiring Mayapur land. The headquarters of ISKCON, global ISKCON, headquarters is in Mayapur, which is such a remote place away from Calcutta, 130 kilometers, very, very remote place in the middle of paddy fields. But the problem was that place was owned by Muslims. And for a Hindu institution to go and buy land was very difficult. And it was a communist country, communist state, West Bengal, and they were not very cooperative. There was a danger to life also. In that situation, Tamal Krishna went and acquired land and came back to Prabhupada, who was in Calcutta ISKCON temple, and gave him the document saying, the Mayapur land is yours. So Tamal Krishna is very much remembered very fondly in ISKCON. So he did a lot of work in Los Angeles to distribute the books and to propagate the holy name. Then Prabhupada was in LA, as we were telling. Prabhupada used to have severe headaches, and there was a continuous noise in his head. This had been going on for several months, but Prabhupada disregarded all these things, and he continued to do his translation work, Srimad Bhagavatam translation. And he would send the tapes to Boston for Satsvarup Maharaj to transcribe and make some corrections, error corrections, grammar corrections, and all that, and then get it ready for printing. So Satsvarupa was in Boston. All these people became later on sannyasis. So that's why whenever I take the name, automatically I say Maharaj. But they were not Maharaj at this time. But subsequently they became Maharajas. Like Mukunda became a Maharaj. Of course, Shyam Sundar remained as a Grihastha, but a very exemplary Grihastha. And many of these other names, they all became Maharajas. Okay. So in the month of May 1968, Srila Prabhupada visited Boston. Boston was another center, another storefront temple, and Satsvarupa, the author of this book, was running it. We know how the disciples told him to take a transfer from New York to Boston and to start a center there. He had already started, and he was doing very good work. A lot of people had gathered there, brahmacharis, devotees were there, and Prabhupada visited them. And he addressed the local universities and colleges and all that, including Harvard University. Prabhupada was invited and Prabhupada gave class, and MIT, which is also world famous. There, Prabhupada made the famous challenge. I don't know whether I have talked about it earlier. If any of you devotees can recollect this thing, the famous challenge of Srila Prabhupada in MIT. If any one of you recollect that? Have I spoken already?
No, Prabhuji, I don't think so, Prabhuji.
Okay. It is in the book called Life Comes from Life also. So Srila Prabhupada was shown by the professors and the dean of MIT. Prabhupada went to MIT. He was a guest. So MIT professors and all the people surrounded him, and they gave him a big list of various departments in MIT, something like 400
Yes,
plus.
Prabhuji, you have told. Now I remember. He
Oh.
asked, where is Almighty?
The question he asked them was,
Yes.
I am so happy you have so many branches of science, and they claim there is no branch of science which is excluded from here. Any branch you name, they are here. Then Prabhupada very humbly asked them this question: where is the department that studies the difference between a living body and a dead body? Because all of you claim that everything is chemical reaction only. How did the universe evolve? Through chemical reaction. How did life come? Through chemical reaction. How did more and more complex organisms evolve? Through chemical reaction. So anything you say, they would say millions of years ago, chemical reactions happened. That is how everything is there. So when you ask them about life, they don't say life is something which is non-material. They won't say that life is non-material. They will say life is simply a byproduct of chemical reactions. I hope you are all understanding this. I don't want to spend too much time on this. We spiritualists consider life as unique. Consciousness, we consider it as unique. It doesn't belong to the material world. Consciousness has actually come from the spiritual world. It is part and parcel of Krishna. And that consciousness, when it comes into this material world, it assumes material bodies. It is given to them by the material nature, and they accept this body and they engage in different activities. So this is a combination of two incompatible things. One is Satchidananda, the eternal soul, and here constantly changing matter, which is unconscious. So this is what the fact is. But the Westerners, the philosophers, the scientists, everybody believes life is simply a evolutionary byproduct of chemical reactions. Chemical reactions. So Prabhupada asked, where is the department? You are saying it's all chemical, no? So which department is studying the difference between dead body and living body? Which chemical is missing? Prabhupada would ask very pointed questions. You know everything is chemical. So between dead body and living body, what chemical is missing? Supply that chemical through injection or by whatever means, and make sure that the dead body will live. Or someone who is dying, you keep them alive by supplying what is lacking. So this kind of question, they were shocked and they put their heads down because they had really no answer. Prabhupada said, this is the most important study that scientists should make to help the world to become immortal. We all want to live long. If not immortal, at least we want to live long. And why don't you do that? So this is that famous challenge that Prabhupada gave in MIT. In one moment, they defeated them, wholesale, no reply. Okay, so Prabhupada stayed, I humbly request all devotees to try and remember some of these things because they are very useful in your preaching activities. We should not become shy of preaching. We should not become afraid when we talk to a educated person, a PhD, or a postgraduate, or someone who is very celebrated, a celebrity, that they are very knowledgeable people, great philosophers. We should not have any fear because we have Srila Prabhupada standing with us. But we should make the effort to gain this knowledge and use it in our preaching activity. We cannot be always preaching to, illiterate people or low-class people and all that. That is also part of our job. But if we can transform the heart of a highly respected person, then through him, you can make large changes. That is one reason why we want to approach the wealthy people, the famous people, the highly literate people, the powerful people, because through them you can bring a transformation in the society. That is one of the main pillars of our preaching activity. So I request all of you to take, because this kind of information, we don't know how to. When I go to MIT, I will not know what to ask them. In one question, I have to floor them. Yes, they won't have the patience to listen to my Bhagavatam classes. In one line, I have to make them think. So I request all of you to kindly make note of these things. Actually, Prabhupada Leelamrit is also is like a guidebook for us on how to go about in our own life and how to go about in our preaching life. So there is so much lessons here. So let us involve both our heart and head in listening to these classes. Heart should be involved so that we can feel transformation by seeing the life of a pure devotee and the life of those who are actually transformed by him. But at the same time, the head should be very much involved because ours is a preaching mission. And we need to use the head to pass on this knowledge to others. And eventually they will also, that knowledge in the head will slowly sink into the heart and they will become devotees. So this is my humble request to all of you. I know the classes are relishable and you are enjoying it, but it is important that we also constantly remind ourselves about our responsibilities. Thank you very much. So Prabhupada was in Montreal 3 months, then he's actually traveling constantly. He goes to Seattle for 1 month, then he goes to Santa Fe in New Mexico. Like that, he's constantly traveling. So why he has to travel? And the reason is he has to personally go and inspire his devotees who are doing work there. They needed his inspiration. So Prabhupada would go spend 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month in different places for the few devotees who are trying to do something there. So for that reason, Prabhupada has to travel to lay the foundation in these centers. By personally seeing Prabhupada, they will get more inspired. And wherever there are knowledge gaps, Prabhupada will fill them up. And Prabhupada will also give them, sometimes install deities, teach them deity worship, teach them standards of cleanliness that they have to maintain. teach them some tips on how to propagate or preach. So Prabhupada has to travel. There is no way to avoid it at this point of time, because there is no one who is there in the mission at the time to take the position of Srila Prabhupada. So that was the reason he had a lot of travel. And Prabhupada found, wherever he went in America, he found rich men's sons. They had already been ruined by drugs and sex. So imagine rich men. Why are they rich? Why are they working hard to increase their wealth? They are doing it eventually to pass on to their children, whether they realize it or not. Of course, they can show to the world that I'm a very successful man, number one. Number two, they can do a lot of sense gratification. But at the end of it all, they will want to pass it on to their children. But the children's life was already ruined by drugs and sex, because the parents have no time for their children. The parents have built skyscrapers, but the children don't want to live them. Parents have built up successful businesses, but the children don't want to take over. They have become dirty hippies who don't take bath for months together. They don't do any useful work. They are only drinking, taking drugs, engaging in illicit sex and some nonsense music. This is what is going on. But they think they are exploring spirituality. The children are thinking like that because they have rejected the life of their parents, because they find that life meaningless, hypocritical, and totally materialistic. They have rejected. But they have no clue what they should do now. They want free love, peace, and happiness and sense gratification. And they are trying to realize the supreme truth by these methods. So Prabhupada said, I found many of these rich men's sons' life already ruined. So I just wanted to ask all of you if you think that this is also happening in India. This is what Prabhupada saw in America in the 60s. What about now in the 21st century in India? Same thing is happening. Rich men are busy making more and more money, accumulating wealth, starting more and more businesses and increasing their bank balance and their assets. But what is happening to their children? If they are not ruined by drugs and sex, but they are also ruined by greed, lust and greed. Even if it is not drugs and sex, lust and greed are very dominating forces in today's world. And everybody is interested only in material acquisitions, or what you call economic development. So Prabhupada noticed this. So Prabhupada said, some of them who came to me, I am able to save their lives. But I see that many of their lives have been already ruined beyond repair. This is something that Prabhupada himself told. We should not allow it to happen in India, at least to those who are known to us, our families, our near and dear. We should try to give them at least some amount of spiritual knowledge so that they will be saved. Knowledge of the soul and the body, knowledge of karma, the knowledge of reincarnation, the knowledge of papa and punya, the knowledge of 84 lakh species into which we are transmigrating since time immemorial. We have to give them some concept of Supreme Lord and the relationship between the soul and the Supreme Lord, and what is our goal of life and why there is suffering. So this minimum knowledge we should try and share with the world. So Prabhupada is finding his own devotees are still neophytes. They don't know much about spiritual life, nor do they know much about material life, but they are sincerely taking to Krishna consciousness. Please note, even though their knowledge is not very wide, maybe they have not read Nectar of Devotion, the book was not there. Maybe they have not read the Krishna book, the book was not there. Maybe they have not read the Srimad Bhagavatam book is not there. They have not read the Bhagavad Gita as it is, book is not there. Whatever little Prabhupada has spoken to them, whatever little has been published, whatever lectures and Prabhupada's letters, this is the only source of knowledge for them. But they are sincerely taking. They are believing Prabhupada, they are loving Prabhupada and sincerely taking to Krishna consciousness. So their shortcomings will not prevent their spiritual progress. So now I have a question for all of you. What is the role of this sincerity and what is the role of gathering more and more knowledge in our spiritual life? Please.
Prabhuji, you just pointed out how the sincerity trumps even all their wrongdoings earlier wrongdoings, that is, I mean, you just said sincerity could win them and a love for Prabhupada, though they were like doing all these other things, but this would save them, is what you said. So I
Yeah.
think that is the value of that sincerity.
Can you cite any shloka from Bhagavad Gita?
Oh,
Chatushloki.
Prabhu.
Chatushloki.
No, I don't remember, Prabhu.
Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. How many of you remember? How many of you don't remember?
I don't remember.
4
Hare
slokas. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam ena mam upayanti te. That is a 10.10 shloka, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Please explain.
All you want to yeah, Prabhuji. Those who continuously execute devotional services in me, having that firm faith. So Krishna says that inside from everybody's heart, he is staying inside as Chaitya Guru. So he will only guide, and he will only show the path as to how one should go to the spiritual platform, Prabhuji. How we will achieve the spiritual platform, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Or rather, how they can come back to me.
Yes.
Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamu payantite. How they will be able to return to the spiritual world by acquiring this. So, whatever they are lacking, Krishna will supply. This is the main advantage of bhakti, because here we see the Supreme Absolute Truth as a person. Supreme Absolute Truth as a person. We see ourselves as persons, and we have a relationship with the Supreme Person. Is it not? So that Nityo Nityanam Chetanaha Chetananam Yeko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kama. We are all individuals, and the Lord is individual. He is eternal, and we are eternal. We all have desires, and He is the one individual who fulfills all those desires. So this is the understanding of God and us, and the relationship between us. Actually, when I say I am an individual, I understand it wrongly. Can anyone clarify this? When I say I am an individual, actually I have a wrong understanding. Can anyone clarify this? I say Krishna is an individual, I am an individual. When I say I am an individual, I have a misunderstanding. What is that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
When we say we are individual, we need to have some sort of independency. That we don't have, Prabhuji. We are bound by the material laws, and material laws indirectly they are bound by the Krishna's order, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So indirectly Krishna is controlling.
Okay, but most importantly, I want you to mention something else.
Because we are
Krishna,
part and
Prabhuji.
parcel of Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, are we individuals or not? Yes.
We maintain our individuality when we go back home, but we are, because only then we can serve Krishna, Prabhuji.
I don't know. You devotees don't ask me any questions, but when I ask you questions, you all blunder. I don't know.
We are qualitatively one with like Krishna, Prabhuji, but minute quality, but quantitatively we are different, Prabhuji, from Krishna.
The question is very simple. Are we individuals or not? The scriptures say that we are individuals. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. It's a Vedic statement. It says that all of us are individuals. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha. Nachevana bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. In Bhagavad Gita, right in the beginning, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, you, I, and all these kings, we have always been existing, and we will continue to exist as individuals. Krishna is telling. I am asking you a very simple question. Are we all individuals or not?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Is
Hare.
we are all souls? That only individual you're meaning, Prabhuji. We are all souls.
Correct. I was waiting for this answer. Thank you, Mataji. This is what I was waiting. When I say I am an individual, I am looking at this body in the mirror and I am saying I am an individual. Wrong. Saying I am an individual is right, but touching this body and saying I am an individual is wrong. Am I making sense to all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
We are individuals, that's correct. But it doesn't refer to my photograph that this person is an individual. No. Why is it wrong to say like that?
We are Hare Krishna Prabhuji because we are souls and we are not we don't connect with the matter at all, Prabhuji. We connect only with the soul and we are part of the super soul.
So what about this body?
This body is a means for us to do service to go back to Krishna, Prabhuji. That is.
Others can also join in this answer. When I'm having a conversation, doesn't mean that others should all simply wait. Anyone can join and contribute to the discussion.
Or body keeps changing, na Prabhuji. Body keeps changing.
Body keeps changing. So what is the body actually?
It's made of Panchabhutas and it will go into Panchabhutas only, Prabhuji.
It's a gunape, tridhatuke. It's a gunape. It's a bag of three dhatus. What is the three dhatus? Kapha, pitta, vata. It's simply a bag of flesh and bones, Prabhupada would say always. So that is not an individual. The body of flesh and bones is not an individual. It is a constantly changing thing. It is simply the same matter which is found in the earth. The five elements, they are combined in different ways and toys are being made. The toys are being made. How do the toys work? There is the power of Mahamaya. That she is making them. The 24 elements. The mind, the intelligence, the false ego, the life airs. They are all matter only. The life air is matter. It's not spirit. So only on the spiritual platform we come to the stage of individuals. Even though we are the energy of Krishna, superior energy of Krishna, by the will of Krishna, we are all conscious individuals. By the will of Krishna. We are all part and parcel. Like I say, my hand is a part and parcel of my body. But my hand doesn't have independent thinking. I control the body from within. My hand doesn't have an independent role in thinking and executing. But Krishna, by his unique mystic powers, Yogeshwareshwara, by that power, he has made us all thinking, feeling, willing individuals like he himself is. And that is how we are all individuals by the will of the Lord. Bahushyam. Krishna wanted to expand himself. And then he expanded himself in so many ways. Swamsa, Vibhinnamsa. And we are his Vibhinna Amshas. Mamivamsho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatana. We are all his Amshas, Vibhinna Amsha, separated. And we are all individuals. And that is what Krishna says, Natyavaham Jatuna Sanatmanime Janadipaha. When he says, neither I, nor you, nor all these kings have, there was never a time when they did not exist. Nor will there be a time when they will not exist. Does it mean that the kings are immortal? Does it mean that everyone assembled there is immortal? No. The soul within is immortal. The soul within has no beginning and no end. So we have to realize this individuality, our true individuality. So that is something we have to do. I don't know, I'm doing Bhakti Vriksha instead of Prabhupada 11. Please excuse me. But these are things we have to be very strong in our understanding. This is part of our sadhana, that we should know these things because it has been already given to us. Means there are some knowledge gaps I will always have. Krishna will supply. But whatever knowledge is given to me also, I should not forget. I should try to retain that by meditating. Not that the class is over, the mission is off and I don't think about it. I am also guilty of this flaw. So please, I am sincerely telling you, Shravanam, Kirtanam, and Smaranam becomes very, very important for us. What we heard, what we read, what we discussed, we should meditate in our mind and chew it in our mind repeatedly. Like the cow after feeding quickly, then it sits and does chewing the cud. Like that we have to chew this. And then only these things will sink deeper into our understanding. So Prabhupada is thinking that even though, because they lack sincerity, even though they are neophytes, Krishna will fill up the gaps and they will make progress. So from Prabhupada Leela Amrita, we understand that we should take our spiritual life seriously by taking our Guru Maharaj seriously. If I am an initiated person, I have directly a living Guru. But if I am not yet initiated, I have my Siksha Guru. And my primary Siksha Guru is Srila Prabhupada. I also have other Siksha Gurus who live in my locality, or I meet them online. They are my Siksha Gurus. So the Guru is always there. So through them, whatever I learn, I should take it sincerely and I should surrender to the instructions. And not that simply I hear, I have to inquire. In any kind of spiritual meeting, three roles are there. One is the speaker, second is the hearer, and third is the inquirer. The speaker and the inquirer. If you see, for example, Srimad Bhagavatam, how many inquiries are there? Bhagavatam starts with inquiries, is it not? When Parikshit Maharaj goes to the bank of Ganga, and all the great rishis and munis are assembled there, and he questions them. Questions. Then Sukadeva Goswami comes. And then he very nicely says, your inquiry is most auspicious. It will produce good for all humanity, for all times to come. So then you see within that there are Saunakavi rishis, they are questioning Suta Goswami. Then within that Vidura is questioning Uddhava, Vidura questioning Maitreya. Like that it goes on and on and on. There are always question answers. Somebody asks a question to somebody else and that person doesn't reply directly. That person says, a same question was asked by so-and-so in such and such place, such and such time. And that I am going to tell you. So this is parampara. Parampara means that we are all not very brilliant people. But as long as we are repeating what we have heard from the bona fide source with faith and trust in our heart, then we are gurus. Then we become part of the parampara system. And this is what we need to develop that we hear, we assimilate, and we give. So we become practically a postman. That's what Prabhupada says. You don't manufacture anything. Prabhupada uses this word very often. If you have heard Prabhupada lectures regularly, you will see, don't manufacture. There is no need to manufacture any nonsense. It is all given. We just connect to the parampara. How? By sincerity. And by inquiry. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. The pariprashna is very much required. We need to ask questions if we don't understand. But we won't even get questions if we don't think. We hear and it is nice and we go away, then we will question. Questions will not arise because our questions are typically what? Can anyone say? We are all having questions, but what kind of questions we are having? Please, quickly.
How can I be more happy in this material world?
That is a very nice question. That's a pretty advanced question. Or most often we are saying, where is my food? Where is my shelter? Where is my car? Where is my bungalow? Where is my bank balance? How can I get rid of my disease? How can I get married? How can I get children? We are full of those questions. We are full of anxieties. How will I get cured from my disease? How will I meet this particular expense? From where will I get the money? How will I clear this debt? Like that, our minds are all disturbed. Is it not? In Kali, Manda, Sumanda Madayo, Manda Bhagya, Upadrita. We are constantly disturbed in this material world. So we are filled with those questions. So at least when we come to a spiritual satsang, we should keep it all away and we should absorb also the spiritual quest, trying to understand, hey, like a person who is drowning in water, no? He is pulled out. He takes a very nice breath and feels relieved. In a similar way, when we come to a spiritual satsang, we should feel, I have come to the place where I can really breathe. In the material world, we are choking, we are suffocating, we are stifled. But here, I can take a fresh breath. I can ask questions. I am not being told, don't know, why do you question this? It is there in scripture. Have you ever encountered such a response? Why do you ask this question? I am only repeating the scriptures to you. That happens in other religions. Other religions, they are called dogma. Most of these religions are made of dogma. Even in Hinduism, there is a lot of dogma, but not in Krishna consciousness. For this age of so-called age of reason. So Prabhupada has given question answers. There is a whole book, perfect questions, perfect answers. So questions are as important as the answers. In one shloka, because some of you are doing Bhakti Vaibhav, you might have come across this shloka where it is said, questions about Lord Krishna are auspicious for the whole world. That's all. Answers are not. Questions bring auspiciousness to the whole human society. So like that. Okay, so Prabhupada is seeing the Western world. The Western youth who are originally beautiful, they have now become dirty and morose. Their beauty has become covered. But by chanting Hare Krishna, they are being revived. Prabhupada is comparing this to Vrindavan monsoon. Vrindavan summer, everything becomes dried up. But when the monsoon rains come, then everything becomes lush green. Wherever you turn, there is so much beauty, freshness. And these people are becoming like that. They are shedding their material bonds and they are dancing ecstatically like the peacocks in the monsoon season. And they are chanting like the cuckoo bird in Vrindavan. So their original beauty is being revived. And people, Prabhupada, wherever he goes, he is encountering these questions, both in America and in India with his disciples. They are asking, how are your disciples looking so radiant, so effulgent, so fresh? What is the secret? So Prabhupada would repeatedly say this. Everyone is noticing this change. What has happened? So one reporter asked Prabhupada, are your disciples hippies? And Prabhupada very cryptically replied, no, they are happies. Very, very straightforward answer. And one reporter asked, Swamiji, what kind of miracles are you doing? Because we have so many Swamijis come from India and they should do miracles. They lie on a bed of needles, or they allow a car to run over them, or they suspend their breathing for days together, or they are able to pull a car or an aeroplane with their bare hands. All these things. What kind of miracle? Or they produce gold and silver from their bare hands. So what miracle have you done? Prabhupada said, I have converted hippies into happies, which is the greatest miracle. People who are so morose and downtrodden and dirty, I have made them happy people. So now we come to a very important point here. You see, Srila Prabhupada loved his disciples and they loved him in return. This is parampara system. This is parampara. Love and trust are foundational. First love, trust follows later. Love is the starting. And even before love, there is something. Does anyone remember? In our Bhakti Vriksha, I used to say very often. Don't be afraid, please say something.
Faith, Prabhuji.
Okay. Anything else? Others can contribute. Please feel free to talk. I am not trying to stifle your responses. Your responses are all correct. I'm just trying to push you further up. That's all. I'm not finding fault with your answers.
Eligibility, Prabhuji, eligibility.
Eligibility, okay. Then anything else? Anything else? What is the question?
What comes before love, Prabhuji? Even before love.
Trust comes after love. What comes before love?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji. Admiration, Prabhuji. I don't know.
Very good, very good. Yeah, you are coming.
Admiration, Prabhuji.
You are coming closer to that. Yes. Admiration, appreciation. When admiration, appreciation comes, what comes? Gratitude. Gratitude for what I am receiving. Someone is unselfishly giving me the greatest treasure in creation. Which is actually that gratitude. When you value what you are given, then you get gratitude. Is it correct? When you know the value of what you are being given, then gratitude comes. Is it correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
When you don't know
Yes,
the
Prabhuji.
when you
Very
don't
true.
know the value, no appreciation, no gratitude. So the gratitude will come when you have a true appreciation of what you are being given. So when you appreciate the value of what you are being given, like if I give you a big stone, a dull stone, and you say, "Hey, what have you given? Okay, I will use it as a paperweight. Huh? Because you have given me, I will keep it as a paperweight." But you won't respect it much. But when you know it's a diamond, a rare diamond bigger than the Kohinoor, all that is needed is it needs to be polished. It's a diamond, rare diamond. Then you will feel some sense of gratitude. Oh, he has given me such a valuable gem, which is invaluable. So, like that, gratitude, when you feel towards the parampara, towards Srila Prabhupada, towards Sri Krishna, then that gratitude will transform into love. That's true love. That is real love. Because the word love is so misused when we get the wrong connotations when this word is used, unfortunately, in English. The word love, like, in if you go to McDonald's, they write, "I love chicken." What does it mean? Does it convey the meaning of love, actually? When someone says, "I love chicken," what do they mean by that, please? Anyone?
They should actually preserve and be kind and do with the chicken, Prabhuji. In McDonald's, like maybe they're
So why do they say, "I love chicken"?
decimating it.
They say, "I love." And please remember, just the way they say, "I love chicken," that is how they love people also. Please make no mistake. Because the word love is so grossly misinterpreted today that anyone who is useful to me, I can exploit them, I love them. If anyone allows to be exploited, I love them. If I cannot exploit them, I don't find any value for them, I throw them. This is called use and throw culture. Not only with things, it is with living things also, including people, including close relatives also. Am I right or wrong? Use and throw.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is our relationship. So where is gratitude? If something you use and throw, where is gratitude? You used it, but you throw it. You have a cow, you milk it, and then it goes dry, then you sell it without a thought, that the cow sustained me, the cow nourished me, the cow gave me good health, it served me for so many years. No attachment. In the olden days, there was no use and throw. Today we have plastic pens. It is so cheap, you throw it. Anything you use, throw it. So we are making everything in plastic today. So you use and throw. Even your cell phones or your television sets or your computers, use and throw, use and throw. We don't realize that is getting into our psyche. True or not? This culture of use and throw gets into your psyche. And you start looking at people with the same eye. Is this person useful to me anymore or not? They were useful till yesterday, but today they are not useful. Let me throw them. It could be the parents, it could be the grandparents, it could be my well-wishers who helped me in the past. No longer useful to me. Please relate this to what I am telling. Because you have developed a culture of use and throw, a culture of no attachment to anything, gratitude is a concept we don't understand only. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You must make extraordinary efforts to understand the meaning of gratitude. All of us. Then we should see, am I feeling some gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada for what he has done for us? For that, we need to have appreciation of what he has given to us. We have to appreciate. And this is the way we can make our journey in our spiritual life. A spiritual life is not like getting a MA degree or MSc degree, where you read something, you understand something, wrote something, and you write some exams and pass, and they say you have got a degree. But this is not the way we are going to pass our spiritual examination. We have to involve, we have to put ourselves into it. Our consciousness should go into it. Then we will experience gratitude. And from gratitude, love should come. When I say, in that sense, if I say I love chicken, at least I would think, oh, this chicken is giving its life for me. Then a sense of gratitude. Then maybe at least I will use it with some respect. I will grow it in a more conducive atmosphere. They say farm grown something. They are talking about compassion, but they don't understand what is compassion. So same way with cows. How much respect we should treat them. Cow and Mother Earth, they're all 7 mothers, they are all our mothers. So we should develop that sense of gratitude. Now, without sense of gratitude, love doesn't come. Without love, trust doesn't come. Without trust, knowledge transfer doesn't take place. What you call knowledge is not knowledge. Without trust, knowledge transfer doesn't take place. And we may think, I am an expert in Bhagavad Gita, but no, knowledge is not transferred because Bhagavad Gita book is there for everyone. But with trust is what we gather the essence from that. So we should try to develop these feelings. And Prabhupada Leelamrita we are discussing essentially for that purpose. How to develop gratitude in our heart towards this amazing person. And when you love Prabhupada, you love Krishna automatically because he is Krishna's messenger. Krishna sent him for us. So whatever benefit you are getting from Prabhupada, it is actually the mercy of Krishna. So when we are receiving mercy and we are not feeling gratitude, the mercy doesn't work. The mercy works when I feel grateful. That is the process. And that is how you connect to the parampara. Now you read this. Srila Prabhupada loved his disciples and they loved him in return. Prabhupada loved, why? And now another question for you. Prabhupada loved his disciples, why?
Prabhuji, I didn't hear you. Prabhupada loved.
No, you are seeing the screen. The third bullet point. Srila Prabhupada loved his disciples and they loved him. I am asking a question. Why did Prabhupada love his disciples?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm not sure, Prabhuji, what I feel I'm telling, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Because of their sincerity, and they totally had whatever Prabhupada said they were following. Plus, he was compassionate of their past thing, and Prabhupada wanted to show them a good way. So more or less, he was like a father to them. So that way.
Very good. Anyone would like to supplement what Mataji has told?
Prabhuji, is it that they had like gone or like they had gone off the path and they needed nourishment and like maybe spiritual nourishment of the body and the soul? And there is a story, Prabhuji, black sheep. The father, though he stays with the sons who are doing so well, he's always his mind and his thought, and he looks at the road waiting for the son who has gone away and is not doing well. There's a story of something called the black sheep.
Very true.
So like that, Prabhupada, maybe he saw in what bad shape they were. And as Mataji said, that word compassion comes into play. And so.
Yes. So do you agree if I say in one word, causeless mercy? Prabhupada loved disciples out of causeless.
Yes.
So here we see something which is causeless. This whole world is made of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. You all understand that, no? Cause and effect. Everything is an effect of something, everything is a cause of something, and the chain goes on. The chain goes on. This is how material world works. Cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. But Prabhupada loving his disciples don't look for causes. It is causeless mercy. If it doesn't come that way, we cannot give bhakti to people. It has to come causelessly. We have already discussed it in some other classes. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurya Kadambini. How bhakti is transmitted from one person to another. Causelessly. Simply a devotee of Krishna wishes that, oh, so-and-so, I wish that they will become devotee. They will become. This is how it becomes. So Prabhupada is a pure devotee representative of Krishna. He loves his disciple. It's a causeless mercy. There was a time when his disciples asked Prabhupada, we are all so grossly unqualified. We are all given to all kinds of vices. How did we come to Krishna consciousness? How did we get the Sukriti? Prabhupada said, I made your Sukriti. How? By loving them. He loved them and Krishna had to love them perforce. So Prabhupada loved them and they loved him in return. Why did they love him? This is the next question. Why did-
Gratitude.
They loved him out of gratitude. They could appreciate what they were getting. They could see their life before and the life after. And they felt extreme gratitude. And when they realized that Prabhupada left Vrindavan and came to America, without knowing any of them, without knowing any particular person here, Prabhupada came. And he struggled and struggled and struggled, despite all kinds of setbacks. So they loved him out of gratitude. Now, when you have this love, which is on the foundation of gratitude, then your spiritual life has started. When you feel this gratitude deeply within, that I am so grateful that this person did this for me. It should be to a person, mind you. Gratitude should be to a person. It should not be to something vague. It should be to a person. Gratitude is individual, person to person relationship. And when you feel that gratitude should lead you to action. Then it is real. Till that time, it's not called gratitude. Gratitude makes you restless to reciprocate. You are thinking, how I will reciprocate? And a pure devotee doesn't need anything, doesn't want anything. How do you reciprocate? Please let me know. Hare Krishna. Disciples want to reciprocate, but
Hare
they don't.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mati. Yes.
Prabhuji, trying to do our best to fulfill Prabhupada's dream wherever possible. We have to tell everybody about Krishna, preach and distribute books. That is what we can do for Prabhupada. And also being sincere in our sadhana, Prabhuji, with
Thank you. Thank
all
you.
our heart and soul. We have to serve.
Absolutely. Achar, prachar. This is the way to reciprocate. Achar. Implement what I learned in my life sincerely, faithfully. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Surrender to the instructions of your spiritual master. This is the way to reciprocate in your personal life. And then prachar. How prachar? Set a good example to others. Attract them towards you, like Prabhupada attracted them like a magnet. Attract them to you. For that, you should be willing to sacrifice your life, as Prabhupada did. How to attract people? Because people don't have gratitude. Just now I was telling you, we were discussing how in Kali Yuga people have no gratitude, no idea of gratitude. Gratitude is actually considered as a softness of the heart, weakness of the heart. Hridaya daurbalyam. Hey, why you have to feel? You have to climb on the heads of everyone to reach the top. So gratitude is not easily understood. But in spiritual life, this gratitude will only take you to higher places. So this is what we see the process working. This is how you connect to the Guru Sishya Parampara system. You receive and you become grateful and you want to reciprocate. So every devotee in ISKCON, they preach out of a need to reciprocate to the Guru. They are restless. How I will reciprocate to my Guru, what he has done for me. So they will preach. Compulsively they will preach. They cannot escape from that because there is a need to reciprocate to the Guru. And Guru will be satisfied only when you bring more and more innocent souls back to Krishna. So this is how it is. So read this, rest of it. Prabhupada was a spiritual father. Prabhupada was not a head of an institution called ISKCON. Prabhupada was their spiritual father. Out of love, he was giving the greatest treasure. And out of love, they were following his instructions. See this? Costlessly, Prabhupada was giving the treasure. What is this love? Costless love. Costless mercy. It is coming from Krishna, flowing through the Parampara. Costless mercy flows through the Parampara. And these people were receiving and reciprocating by following the instructions. This is the essence of spiritual life. Mind you, this is the essence of spiritual life. On the basis of this love, ISKCON will grow. ISKCON will grow only on the basis of this love. Only. And it should grow only on this basis, not by any other basis. Not by spending money lavishly, not by subsidizing the books, not by putting a book in every house and everybody going out and becoming big lecturers and speakers all over the world, building temples. No. It will grow on the basis of reciprocation of love and gratitude. Some disciples will fall down because of old ways, habits, but the sincere devotees will stay. And even those who fall down, they don't lose. Can anyone quote a Bhagavad Gita shloka for this?
Neha Vikramanashosti.
Ah,
Vayo Navinte. Swalpamas.
Swalpamapi yasya dharmasya trayate bhato bhaya. This is, nobody will lose anything in the spiritual path. But if they have not made sufficient progress, they will be given another time. But they have lost some precious time by lack of seriousness, lack of sincerity. But the sincere will stay and make progress, and they will bring more people to Krishna. So one moon is more important than a million stars. Prabhupada would say like that. Mahaprabhu will empower the sincere devotees, and the devotee's life will become perfect. And then Satsvarup Maharaj writes, many devotees were already feeling this happening in their life. We are talking about 1966, 67, 68, that time. Very shortly after Prabhupada entered into their life, they were seeing, my life is becoming perfect. My life is becoming perfect. You don't need a certificate from anybody. You know it in your heart that bad thoughts are going away, good thoughts are coming in. Material detachment is growing. Spiritual attachment is growing. Love for Krishna is growing. Gratitude to the parampara is growing. By these symptoms, you know that you are advancing in Krishna consciousness. So, Satsvarup Maharaj writes, many of them were feeling that this is already happening in their life. So, I think our time is up. Please forgive me. There was a lot of digression. I was not able to stay on the subject, but then Prabhupada Leelamrita is not some light topic. It's a heavy topic. And I really want you to take you to the best of my ability, deep into it, so that we will become committed to what we are hearing, and we will allow this to go into our head and into our heart and transform our lives. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any doubts, any questions, please ask.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. This was very essential for us. Whatever you're telling us, that we have to take it to our heart and be attentive, and only through gratitude we can grow in our spiritual, we can have spiritual advancement. So these things are very much essential, Prabhuji, what you discussed today. So this will, I think this will definitely help us, Prabhuji. So thank you so much for this wonderful class.
I was wondering, Lakshmi Venkat Mataji started coming, again he has disappeared.
I think she's having some, she thought it is on Thursday, Prabhuji. Once she asked me whether it is on Thursday. I don't know, Wednesdays, whether it is
coming,
for
Prabhuji. Yeah,
Thursday
Thursday
evening
she's coming.
she's joining, I think, Bhagavad Gita.
Oh,
She comes for the chanting, Prabhuji. The
okay.
Mahamantra.
Okay. So my humble request to all of you is, why don't you try to bring more people to this session, because something very rare, and better that they join live than hear recordings. As much as possible, try to bring, because we had at some point of time many more people in our Bhakti Vriksha and all that, but number has actually dwindled. This is not an order from me, but this is a humble request that if it is possible to increase the attendance here, that will be very nice, because hearing about Prabhupada is like washing our hearts. Chetor Darpana Marjan. It washes, cleanses our heart. And I thought evening timings means more people can join, but I don't know. Maybe Ajit Prabhu is still at work. Otherwise, he would not miss these classes. And many of the regular devotees are missing for a long time. Just maybe you can try to talk to them. I don't want to convert it into a mechanical device that every week somebody will phone up 10 numbers. And I'm not saying that. But at least to some people, let us connect to them and find out how their spiritual life is going. Are they comfortably connected with someone in devotion? Are they connected to some temple? Are they rendering some services? Are they reading some books? Are they feeling nourished in their hearts? This is important. If someone feels a need, they can come. Otherwise, you don't have to force them that you should attend this class and all. Not that. But if someone can benefit from this, sometimes, you miss a class and then you forget about it afterwards. I often find that what you post in the groups, many people don't even see. They have to be reminded personally. I don't know why it is like that, but anyway, it is Kali Yuga. People are full of anxieties. So, but this is one thought I leave it with you, because then this is one way to reciprocate the Srila Prabhupada. Whatever little we can do within our capacity, we can do that. maybe a few people with whom you are personally connected from the Bhakti Vriksha days, maybe you can talk to them. Don't trouble them every week. Just tell them that would they desire that a message should be sent to them or a call should be made to them. If they wish that should happen, then you can add them into your calling list. Otherwise, please don't trouble people unnecessarily. I don't really want you to do that. So thank you very much once again for joining. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai.
Sure.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.